Hi, Talk and Tango family. This is another episode of Talk and Tango, where conversation swings to the rhythm of ideas. And I'm your host, Mr. Prince. Here we have in the studio very great men who will be doing justice to our topic today, which is the act of networking. And by my right, I have Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor,
This left.
which is camera's right. All right. By my left, I have Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor is one of so many things that I know. One of so many things. I think he's the creative director of Yada Clothings. He's a business coach. He's a marketplace apostle. I had that name, marketplace apostle, for the first time through him when he said, I'm a marketplace apostle. And it's a privilege to have him on our set today.
Thank
And
you very
Mr.
much, Mr.
Victor,
Prince.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you very much, Mr.
And
Prince.
by our right, we have a music guru. When I call him a music guru, he's a music guru. He has influenced a whole lot of musicians. He has put them in global map. He's a choir director. He's a music writer. He's a music influencer. And I have no other person than Mr. O.C. Peters.
Thank you. It's a privilege.
Thank you, sir, for coming. And then this topic, the act of networking. You see, networking is something that we it's something that affects us one way or the other. You can't do life without networking. And because of that, I'm not going to do this without my brother that I've been networking with here. And I have no other person than Mr. Zion. Mr. Zion Nwachukwu, it's a pleasure to have you here as my co-host.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Okay, so Mr. Zion, the floor is open to you. I've done a lot of talking. So I wanted to start off with you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Prince. Okay. So we're looking at the act of networking. All right. Building relationships that matter, and we're paying much attention to network and net worth. So it's very impressive that we have guests who have vast experience, in building relationships and networking. So first of all, I would like to start by understanding what these very important ideologies are.
Yes.
What is networking, or what is network, and what is net worth? So I'd like to start with you, Mr. Victor. Can you tell us what this is most times very cliche. People are saying my network, and all the rest of them. What exactly is this network? Can you just throw more light on that, sir?
Okay, I'll come from the business angle as a business and finance coach.
Okay.
Networking is the amalgamation of different spheres of influence to form a greater sphere of influence. Amalgamation coming together, synergizing of different sphere of influence to form a greater sphere of influence. You understand? Understanding your strengths, understanding your weakness, going for your strengths or going for your weakness. It can also be called the law of leveraging.
Okay.
You understand? When you
Yeah.
leverage on your weakness, you hire your weakness to
Okay.
what you want to do or what you want to become in life.
Okay.
And I believe that life revolves around networking. You understand? We are who we are and we will be whoever we want to be as a result of the network we have.
Okay.
So I think that's networking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just looking at what you just said now, you said leveraging and looking for areas of your weakness to get
Yes,
people
yes,
there.
yes.
So are you simply saying that for you to build network, you have to go and look for people who have strength in your area of weakness, or also looking for people who are strength in your own area? Can you just throw more light on that? What do you mean by that, sir?
Okay, let's go. Let me go into a bit of science. There's this part of the brain that's called the cortex,
Okay.
which is um, responsible for human thinking, human emotions, human feelings.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the serotonin, the dopamine, that's the part of the brain that is necessary for that to play out. So
Okay.
what the cortex does is that it naturally attracts the kind of people you need in your life pattern.
Okay.
Do you understand? Not just that, it starts making you resemble the kind of people who you network with. So, if I am doing business in a certain area and I understand that I need people who can help me in the part of finance, it's registered in my subconscious mind that I need an accountant. All of a sudden, I start attracting experts who are competent in that field of accounting.
Okay.
So that's how the brain functions. You
Okay.
understand? So the law of leveraging is that, yes, I understand that this is my weakest part, and naturally the mind now starts scouting for your strength
Okay.
Okay.
in the place of your weakness.
Okay.
So that's the law of leveraging.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know. You've said a lot of things about networking. So let's bring it on a personal note now. Okay, so can you share the story about how networking have helped you when it comes to your business? Because I understand that you understand the approach of networking when it comes to business. And I know that you're a very practical person. So I want you to be practical about it. Is there any way that you've used network to grow your business?
Okay. The truth is this: not all network works the way you want it to work. I've had very ugly experiences when it comes to network. Network is also called partnership, you understand? Partnership in businesses and every other thing. But in recent time, I've come to understand more about networking. You
Okay.
understand? Playing out on emotional intelligence and every other thing. As I said, your strength and every other thing. I never knew this years back. That's why I actually made some losses in business. But it has helped me so much build the kind of businesses I have been able to build. I understand that my basic strength is how to structure business, how to float ideas, and so many other things. But I also need a sales person. I need a marketing person. So what do I do? As I said earlier, and I talked about the contest. It attracts these people to me. I do several businesses. We're into fashion.
Okay.
I'm into the education market. I'm into plastics. I'm also into cashew nuts.
Wow.
You understand?
Amazing.
So these businesses, I can't be in the same place at the same time. So what do? I start scouting for talents who are good and proficient, that can market this product, that can matter this product. Okay, fine, I'll throw an idea to you. How can you build this idea? Thank God for the digital space we have today that can help us network with our strengths. You understand?
Yes.
So what we do is that we go into such kind of atmosphere or such kind of network and be able to tap into different people's strengths. Okay, I have this idea. How do I do with this idea? You understand?
Yeah.
And this has helped me grow in business.
Okay.
It has helped me so much grow in business. So that is how far networking has helped me in my place of business too.
Right.
All right.
It's also Peters.
My
Now this
brother.
question is for you. How will you define networking? And personally, what do you feel networking is on a personal note, not a general definition?
All right. First of all, I want to say a big thank you for for this honor to be part of this amazing conversation. What a great insight you gave, Mr. Victor.
Thank you so much.
Well, networking is basically interconnection of systems.
Okay.
I want to see networking beyond just individuals. All right, I see it's at the broader level, interconnection of systems. Life is about systems. All right, if one has to understand the flow of a current and find a way of tapping energy from the flow, that is what personally I see networking as. Now we come to uh, individual connections. So networking is the interconnection of systems and persons. That's the way I see it. I don't want to go into the basic definition, but for me, I believe that this is the practical definition of or explanation of networking.
Okay.
All right. Mr. O.C. Peters. To a layman, all right, let's not just speak over their heads. A layman can understand maybe networking as friendship, like the kind of friends I keep. Most times these friendships are just not beneficial. So can we say that networking has to do with friendship? Like if I want to network, that means I'm trying to create friends for myself. So is there something related to that? Because the layman out there will just think that building a network means getting more friends. So is my network my friend, my friendship?
See, first of all,
Yeah.
everyone is networking.
Okay.
That's the basic. When we say how to network, how do we network? It's beginning to sound as if we have not been networking. Life on its own is a product of network. No man was created to live in isolation.
Okay.
The basic, foundation of life is built on interconnection. interpersonal relationship. But I think the area we're looking at now is how do we intentionally create valuable connections,
Okay.
all right? Because everyone is relating, all right? So networking is beyond friendship.
Okay.
Networking is beyond friendship is part of networking,
Okay.
but network is broader and bigger than. For me, network is basically the ability to see the value you can dish out and dish it out with intention of receiving value for value.
Okay.
If you're not intentional about it, that is where one falls into the whole act of chance. I mean, I like this guy. We are friends. The question has to be, what is coming out of this? The purpose has to be defined.
Okay.
If you stay with five wise persons, after a while, when people want to describe the people staying over there, they will describe it as six wise persons.
Okay.
The same thing is applicable to, is about your association, the intentionality one has, in defining the company, because your company determines your company. Your company, I say it again, determines your
Your
company.
company.
The influence you've intentionally, chosen to find yourself in will determine the energy you exude and the influence you attract.
Okay. So I just want to be a little bit personal now. I guess in your sphere of business and your industry as a music person, you must have met a couple of people, several of them. So I want to know who is the influential person you met through networking, and how have this particular person helped to grow your brand and career?
Okay, well, I would not want to go personal. I'm very, for some reasons, I wouldn't want to call names. But the
Okay.
truth is that the place of networking in the line of business I do, I'm a music producer and a music educator, music public speaker, and all that. You know, um, the place of networking cannot be overemphasized as far as the line of a business is concerned. I've been opportuned to be in the studio, and a client walked into the studio, and after a couple of discussions, I realized the client has connection to a big artist maybe that I want to deal with. You know, it's so simple that you understand that when you treat one who is connected to the person you're interested in, well, definitely there's going to be a rub off. I've had conversations. At the end of it, I see myself getting in touch with those people and doing stuff with them based on that connection I have with the person I know. But at a deeper level, we must understand, or we should understand, that such networks can only be sustained by value.
Okay.
Such networks can only be sustained by value. We must also strike, the difference between being parasitic and
Yeah.
building valuable network.
Yeah. I was gonna come
Yes.
to
And
that.
it comes from the place of number one, like my brother said, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence simply means understanding and being aware of the internal happenings enough to relate with what is happening with other people. You cannot be selfish and build strong network. You must understand that I must look at the value I'm going to give to this guy. How do I help? How do I come in and make his life better? It is in the solution we provide, that we find the quality connection that we need. If I'm helping a man, if I'm solving a problem, if I'm relevant in his life, he will not want to do without me in that section. Somebody said he wants to go to heaven. And even if it means being the footmat of God, that he just wants to go to heaven, at least whenever God sees dust in his leg, he will come and dust it. That means he's very important. So you must actually find something of value, a role that
Okay.
each time the person remembers it, he thinks of you. I think that's the quality network we need, or else the person will throw
Okay.
you out, easily.
Okay. So, are you saying that networking must be beneficial? Like there must be benefit attached to it. If there's no benefit, then just pull out from that network.
The
Is that
truth
what
of
you're
the matter
saying?
is that life, the requirement of life is self-preservation.
Okay.
You can't take it away. That is in the nature center of man's nature. Self-preservation. Man has to preserve himself first. Self-preservation. So, and as adults, no adult, any adult who is busy, gallivanting without being intentional about relationship will never become great. Is as true, is an absolute truism.
Okay.
You see, so you must be. It's not just about what you get, like I said before.
Okay.
It's also about what you give. It's a ripple effect. I'm giving out this, and you know the truth. The truth still remains that sometimes you're not even intentional. You're not even intentional about meeting somebody, but you're intentional about solving problems.
Okay.
That problem may be a global problem. It could be a local problem. But trust me, once you are intentional about meeting needs, network begins to expand.
Okay.
It begins to expand. You may not even be the one to go for it. People come for you, but because you are intentional, when they come, you know how to harness it and sustain it.
All right. So now, with all this you said, how are you able to identify people that you want to build a long-term relationship? Because I feel networking is different from just meeting people. When you meet them for the first time, you now decide, okay, yes, this is someone that I want to establish a long-term relationship with, yes or no. So, what are the traits that you see in such person that you say, okay, yes, I want to network with this person, I want to build a long-term relationship with such a person?
Okay, first of all, I build my life on respect. I'm not choosy with the people I respect.
Okay.
I'm not choosy with the people I respect. I'm not choosy in terms of gender. I'm not choosy in terms of age. I'm not choosy in terms of what you do, your reputation. I have basic respect for everybody I deal with. I think that is very important, because there's a thin line between trying to build intentional network and being very disrespectful to people. You look at this person, you size him up. We are physical beings.
Yeah,
You look at him,
yes.
oh, his shoes are nice. He has good
Yeah.
wristwatch. Ah, wow, wonderful phone. He's using an iPhone, iPhone 16. All these things are happening. You are in your head. You're already saying he's somebody of volume. Come on, you're a parasite. You are a self-centered person. Beyond what I know, you need to dress the way you need to be addressed. But can we as human beings have basic respect and honor for our fellow human beings? That's where it starts from. Now, when this happens, my brother, I'm telling you, you will be shocked that sometimes life is bigger than what meets the eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You look at this guy, you size him up, you don't know the weight he carries.
Yeah.
There are, see, and if you observe and you realize that life is revolving, most big people are becoming very simple.
Yes.
They come in and they disguise themselves. They don't want you to even notice them.
Okay.
Because true connection is built on the value someone has already inside of him, not the camouflage he puts up when he sees somebody he thinks he needs to relate with.
Okay.
Are you understanding what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
So it's about number one, having respect for humanity. This
Okay.
person is first a human being.
Yeah.
But he needs to when by the time you come and he's like, let me share a story with you. There's a story of two persons who were traveling by air for an interview, not knowing that the interviewer or the owner of the company had already arranged a very weird kind of interview. An interview that was actually happening in the flight. So this lady, the CEO, disguised herself as a nobody, came into the flight and tried having interaction with one of the guys to be interviewed. Surprisingly, this guy treated her like trash because she was not looking like it. We must be very careful of this. He's not looking it, so he's not it. That's assumption is the lowest level of intelligence.
Yeah.
It's the lowest form of intelligence. Very important. So back to my story. This guy treated this lady like trash. Why he was doing that? Another lady who was going for the interview intercepted and offered, to assist the lady. When they got to the interview ground, the interview was over. The interview was already over because the guy was kept at the reception while the lady was taken up. By the time he could meet this lady, he realized that this lady was actually the one he treated with her. So in that situation, what would you do? So I personally think that before you talk about choosing the people, I'm not even a big fan of choosing people.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, I must be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of choosing people, and why I do it is because of where I'm going to.
Okay.
It is so easy to say, okay, fine, I want to relate with this guy, I don't want to relate with this guy. But where I'm going to demands that at that peak of my career, I must maintain my simplicity.
Well, there's this thing about how you choose that. You may not be able to choose your background, you may not be able to choose your family, but you should be able to choose your friends and people you do business with. So, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, I personally think that in choosing, for me, it's about career.
Okay.
It's about specifics. I cannot be doing a certain kind of business and I import people based on sentiment into that cycle of business
Yes.
that cannot offer. So for me, it's about specifics.
So that means you choose people based on a particular.
Absolutely.
Based on what you do.
Absolutely. But on a general level, like I said, you
Okay.
must have to treat people
Equally.
with respect.
Alright.
With respect. But one fact that I really want to point out is, I don't know about other people, but I think this thing works so works with me. I hate toxicity.
Okay.
Okay.
You must
Nobody
be.
likes toxic
There are
relationship.
people who don't
No.
know how to sieve it.
Some people thrive on toxicity actually.
So I think it's about building a system. You build a system that can naturally sieve toxicity,
Okay.
because a creative mind needs soundness
Okay.
to function.
Okay,
Right.
there was something. Let me just add up to what he said. There was
Okay.
something. This whole thing he puts together is about value,
Okay.
Yes.
value,
Yes.
value, value. Like minds work together.
Absolutely.
Same kind of value of people work together. I used to tell my guys that each time you're not comfortable with where you are, the relationship you find yourself, all you need to do is tweak your value. As soon as you tweak your value, you'll find yourself where you ought to be. And naturally, you start attracting same kind of people your way. You
Okay.
understand? So most of the time, what I tell my wife is that, okay, fine, I might be at this level now, paying for a course of over 300, 400,000 naira to acquire such kind of knowledge. But trust me, time will come after acquiring this same knowledge, I'll be on the same level with some people who taught me about these values. You understand? So that's how values play out. So if I'm not comfortable, it's not by changing the location. Change the value. It's not by
Okay.
changing the relationship. No, change the value. Once your value mentality changes, you start attracting the same level of frequency to yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Victor, based on what you just said now, you said when you want to leave a particular level, you change your values.
Yes.
Okay, so can we just have like a practical experience or an example of that? For instance, I want to move from millionaire level to billionaire level. So what are those kind of values I need to incorporate to attract such people into my life?
A smoker will attract a smoker.
Okay.
That's true.
A drunkard attracts a drunkard. A humanizer attracts a humanizer. At 1 million level, what we do is that you build your mind. It starts inward. Build your mind, build your value to be able to attract 1 billion. Naturally, 1 billion people will start attracting themselves to yourself.
Okay,
to
so
you,
those
to you. You
values,
understand?
those
Yes.
values
So
now,
it's-
what are those things?
Okay, values, one of the business values I work
Okay.
with is majorly integrity.
Okay,
Understand?
okay.
Keeping to my words, integrity. Being to my words. You understand? When I tell you a thing, let it be that way. You understand? But
Yes.
so this, for me, this is the value I work
Okay,
with.
okay.
So if you want to move from a million naira to 1 billion naira, all you need to do is don't go looking for someone who has a billion naira. No.
Okay.
What do this person who has a billion naira does that I don't do?
Okay.
So
I'll start doing
automatically
them.
I start attracting that kind of value to myself. Naturally you will grow. The
Okay.
law of the universe will start attracting those billionaires
To
your
you.
way.
Okay. Okay. Sorry
That
to
is
cut
how
you
it
short.
works.
Sorry to cut you short. Now we're talking about millions and billions. Okay. So I think that has something to do with net worth.
Yes.
So we're talking about network and net worth.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about net worth now. So what is net worth, and how does it affect your life? As a business person.
I'm actually enjoying this because that's actually my core area, finance.
Okay. Okay.
Finance, and one of the goals I have in the next 10 years is to be able to inspire 10 million people achieve financial freedom.
Oh my God. I should be one of them.
So I do that through investments.
Okay.
I coach mainly on investments and savings.
Okay.
That's my core niche. Investment, savings, how to
Mhm.
decide how to do your investments and everything. So
Okay.
net worth is actually the total summation of your wealth.
Okay.
Value is wealth too.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
understand?
Value is
So
wealth.
value is your wealth. So
That's the
your
key to
value
No,
is
no.
what you're marketing outside there.
Value is
That
wealth.
yes.
You mentioned integrity as one of your values.
Wow.
So if I have integrity now, how does it make me wealthy?
How does it make you wealthy?
Yes.
In your business? So you keep to your word. You call, if this is the quality you're selling out, you're dishing out to the market, let it be that quality. So there's no compromise. So we know iPhone for producing excellent phones. You understand, but at each time they produce a new series, you don't expect them to drop lesser than the previous series they made.
Okay.
Do you understand? So there's an integrity attached to the brand
Okay.
that makes them scalable. One, that makes them referable. Two, and that is why there's a whole move of iPhone users, because this person has been able to network this person and tell this person and tell this person concerning the integrity and the value of that product.
Okay.
There's this common saying that people say your network is your net worth. To
Yes.
some extent, can you leverage and explain that properly?
I don't accept that 100%.
Me too.
Okay.
It's not your network that is your net worth. It's your strategic network that builds your valuable net worth.
So you need
Okay.
to say that again.
Your strategic network is what builds your
Your
valuable net worth.
Okay.
I'll give you a story. I met a man somewhere in town, and he told me that one of the guys who owns Master Energy, the Ucho Oga that owns Master, yeah, do you know that guy was my classmate? As a matter of fact, we were climbing the same bike and going to school those days. And I laughed. I said, "Are you not being stupid? You mean that guy was your classmate? As a matter of fact, you have his phone number. We were eating in the same place." I said, "What happened to him and what happened to you?"
Okay.
You had a strategic network, not
I didn't use it.
network. Not network, sorry.
Okay, you had network,
He
not
had
strategic
a
network.
network and not a
Strategic
strategic network.
network.
So understanding how to use this network makes it strategic.
Okay.
People could know our president today, but don't know how to use him for wherever they are going to.
Okay.
So that's the challenge with most of the network we have. So how much value, as he said, is a transfer of value. When they ask you, the Bible says he has prepared a table for us in the place of the enemy. So there's the talent of a man make it way for him and bring him before kings. I like that scripture.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying
What are you
sorry.
bringing to the table
Okay.
to the kings?
Okay.
But there's a twist to it. Who are the kings? So I tell myself I don't want to play as those who bring to the
You want
kings.
to be
I
the
want to be
king.
the king,
Okay.
the decision maker there.
Okay.
Do you understand? So it's an exchange of value. Trust me, most top billionaires who have influenced most top businesses you have in the world today are not heard of.
That's true.
It will shock you to know that Microsoft has over $15 million investment in iPhone.
Wow.
I just found out that of recent and it blew my mind. So these guys have found a way to synergize based
collaborate.
on value. This person brings his value, this other person brings his value. At the end of the day, it has produced a massive network.
With this, you say that, can I say that network can be transactional?
Network can be transactional.
Okay.
Value doesn't just result to net worth. Value could be also character value. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Family value. Do you understand?
Okay.
Emotional value. How can you help me build myself? When I talk about family value, you have broken homes today. How can you help me build my relationship? How can you help me build my home? It mustn't just be net worth. Do you understand? But understand that your network of person doesn't just revolve around your finance. Finance is the least of it. It revolves basically around your life. Your net worth entirely revolves basically. He said if you meet 6 millionaires, the seventh person there, if you meet 5 millionaires, the sixth person there is also a millionaire. Yes, if you meet 5 foolish people, the sixth person there is also a foolish person. As I said, if you meet 10 smokers, as they smoke, they pour for your body. Now, so you too don't become a smoker. So that is it.
Okay.
So we are a compendium of our influences. As a matter of fact, your net worth currently is as a result of people who you have moved with, the information you've been able to access through these same people who you move with. The character you've been able to share with these same people you move with. As a matter of fact, you think the same pattern with them.
Okay. So does it mean that net worth is not necessarily about money?
Net worth is not basically about money.
Okay.
Net worth is basically about the wealth you build.
Can I come in there?
Wealth doesn't just stop at finance.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Wealth comprises totally of what you've been able to build over time.
Okay. Okay, so
All right.
let's get a perspective. on this.
Amazing insight. Amazing insight. See, net worth is basically assets minus liability.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
Assets minus liability.
Okay.
And for me, I think this is a very big summary, of what net worth is. And talking about net work, there's something called social capital.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Network, your strategic network. I'm
Yes,
going to
yes,
borrow
that
what
is
you said. Your strategic network is a social capital.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Is a social capital. You can also regard it as a social asset. Who comes for you? Keep asking yourself that question.
Okay.
Who comes for you?
Okay.
Who has your back genuinely?
Mm.
Do you know that there are people that will be doing something without invitation? There are set of persons who will come just to connect with these people with big gifts
Okay.
just because they want to connect. Honor the person. They tell you, I want to honor you, but the real thing is that they want to connect with you.
Okay.
They want to connect with you.
Yeah.
That is the main thing. Because trust me, real networks are built on giving.
Very true.
Real networks are built. I know few persons in my life who no matter what you do, they tell you, we can't leave hospital. So I mean, like I said, I keep these things personal.
Yeah.
All right, they will never. And sometimes, in fact, sometime a few months ago, somebody called me and he said, so thing happened, so thing. There was something you did and it got to me directly. And because of this, I want to do this.
Wow,
Okay.
wow.
Are you getting what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Now, what I'm trying to bring out from this is to build social capital, you must build social investment.
Okay.
Because to get social assets, you must build social investment.
Okay.
You must invest to build that asset. And how do you invest? Number one, whatever you are doing, can it be quality and visible?
Okay.
Quality and visibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quality, and you can be a good guy at what you do. You can be doing wonderful things, but who knows what you are doing?
Okay.
If you can solve problem for a few persons, you're a good man. If you develop system on how to solve it for a great number of persons, you're a great man.
Okay.
The things people are celebrating may not be compared to what somebody in his village is doing, but nobody knows he's doing it. So in this 21st century, in this internet age, you must learn how to find ways of extending what you do to affect greater number of persons.
Okay.
That's going to build your social assets, because these people are the same people who will come for you.
All right. You mentioned something about internet age and social capital. So I want to know, let's bring it to the digital age now. How have social media helped in building network and networks?
It's massive. It's massive because the truth is, the people who have a grip on the use of technology and internet, who have mastery of it, can sell anything.
Yes.
It can sell anything. Just understand how the algorithm works. You can sell anything. And our environment now goes beyond the people we see physically. It goes beyond our physical environment because it's quite limited.
Yes.
Right now, we have the opportunity to be seen by the world, which simply gives us that leverage of distance. We have broken the barrier of distance. So it's for those who are strategic, they are strategically targeting and strategically shooting. The place of internet can never be overemphasized, because what you do, I used to tell people, most especially the singers in church, I'm a musician and I'm a music director. I meet a lot of singers. I tell them, how comfortable do you feel with what you do every Sunday? You come to church, you sing, and everybody is screaming. Have you ever imagined greater number of persons seeing what you do? Because a lot of persons have been in the choir for 10 years. They've been in the choir for 10 years, and all they have in their portfolio is I'm a key singer in my church. But beyond that, can you find ways of compiling what you've done and presenting it to the world? Because when that begins to happen, your network will begin to expand,
Yes.
and more people will begin to reach you.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
All right.
So,
I would want to ask. Maybe I want to throw it openly. You talked about value system
Okay.
and also the value you have to give. Now, can you look at someone? Okay, for instance, that you are a choir director.
Music
Okay, have you
director.
gotten it?
director.
Music director.
Yes,
All right.
I've
You
done.
you also coach choirs. Now, have you had issues based on personal belief value system, where people look at maybe your physical attributes or the kind of lifestyle you live, and it affects the kind of relationship they bring to you? I don't know if you're getting my question.
Absolutely.
Probably this person, maybe he smokes or he drinks, but he has the kind of value you need in your business, in your life. So can that in some way affect the relationship you want to build with the person based on those personal values?
It could, but I refuse to.
Yes.
It could,
Yes.
but I refuse to because of one of my principles in life. I intentionally don't want to see the wrong in you.
Okay.
I honestly speaking,
That's emotional intelligence.
I am telling you,
understand? That's
I
emotional intelligence.
intentionally don't want to
Yeah,
see the wrong in you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because I sat down one day and I asked myself, what benefits will you derive from any time you see people, you want to see their faults?
Criticize
I
them.
mean, come on, what benefits? Because the same energy you put in doing that, you can actually put it in seeing all the good in the person. And trust me, when you begin to do that, it will suffocate that perspective of the bad.
You know, the
Yes,
funny
that's
thing
very
that I posted this actually on my status, was it 2 days ago? I say you only see the wrong in people when you carry the wrong.
Okay.
You only see the wrong in people when you carry the wrong. You only gossip about people because of your flaws.
Mm.
Do you understand? When you start seeing people from the place of strength, you yourself is built on that area of strength.
Okay.
Yes.
This is how this thing works. Look at very closely at people who criticize. You find out that they are very weak persons, and that is why they go out there to criticize others. They are trying to cover up that deficiency they have, mental wise. That is why they behave the way they behave. Do you understand? So it takes a high level of emotional intelligence to be able to work with somebody who has flaws, but is competent. As he said, look at the place of strength
Okay.
and not the flaws. There is always advantage in the place of strength than the place of flaws. So each time you find a way, as we said, value. If this person values what I want to do, if this person values synchronizes with my vision,
You are good to
forget
go.
about that flaws.
You are good to go.
Concentrate on that vision and the strength he has to work the vision.
Another thing, another side to this is, most people tend to cross the line.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
What started the relationship? Can you keep it there?
Yes.
Okay. Just
Can
on
you
that.
can you keep it at what started the
Draw
relationship?
boundaries.
You come walk into my office and we're doing good music. I mean, it's amazing. It's booming. Everything is going so well. All of a sudden, I'm beginning to look into your personal life. What business do I have with your personal
You
life?
get.
Yes.
What business do I have with your hair? What business do I have with what you are wearing? It's none of my business. There is something that connects us.
That's
This
amazing.
thing actually works in relationship. You meet for instance, when I met my wife, I must have to tell you, one of the things that attracted me to my wife was her composure. I mean, come on, that woman, that lady is highly composed. I liked the fact that she was composed. I also liked the fact that she minds her business. Because I live a very quiet life. So I wouldn't want to come back home and hear that my wife started up this and started stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it attracted me to her. Now it's going to be funny that when we come in and I'm beginning to look at her like, what about this? What about this? There are a couple of values, but I want to stick to them. I didn't marry a perfect woman.
Yes.
I married a woman that I'm willing to live with her weakness.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I didn't marry a perfect woman.
Exactly.
I married a woman who I saw her weakness and said, okay, this one, I've chosen to live with this weakness. I'm
Yeah.
not working hard to change her.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
We are evolving. It's good to evolve.
Synchronize it.
Yes, but I'm not working like I'm married. You so I'm going to, we have to push this button. That you have to. No. We're evolving, growing per time. This is how quality, relationships are built.
Okay.
You build quality relationship one step at a time. When you meet this guy, what connected both of you? Can you stick to it and see how you guys evolve per time? But when you realize that, and it's wisdom to be sensitive to know when, okay, fine, he cannot move beyond this level.
Yes.
I'm not discarding you, but whenever I need that level, I come back and relate. But I'm not discarding you.
Exactly.
I'm an advocate of keeping the bridge open.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate of keeping the door open. Nobody is irrelevant. Building quality connection, building quality network, strategic network, it goes both ways,
Yes.
up and down.
Exactly.
There are things the people up will never do for you, and that's where
Yes.
street credibility comes in.
Yes.
There are things people up there will never do for you. So when you finally turn, who are you looking at? People who are people who are looking at you and saying, okay, fine, so you that kind of a thing. That is why I talked about respect.
Yeah.
Keep the respect going.
Mutual.
Some people get to a level when you call them on phone, they tell you, I can't pick this call. It's funny to me.
Yeah.
The reason for not picking call for me should be because of busy schedule,
Exactly.
not because of the person calling. Let me stop at that.
All right.
Okay. So from everything you've said so far, it simply means that I do not need to look at the person's personal values,
No.
provided the person has what I need or something I want to work with. All right. But I know that scripture that says, "Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers." So show me your friend, and I'll tell you who you are. So won't people start judging you based on, okay, look at the kind of people this person is doing business, or the kind of people he relates with, and maybe affects your own credibility, in as much as you are trying to build something for yourself, and it's now affecting your own credit. For instance, like I talked about maybe someone who smokes or who has a particular kind of lifestyle. Maybe some of these tech dudes, maybe there are certain aspects of their lives that maybe are not really worthy, if I will use that language. So wouldn't it affect your own brand as a person, because you want to do business with this person and you are not considering the person's how people perceive them, even your own children, because the network you build today also is what your children are looking at. So would you be proud to say, okay, my children, these are my business partners, these are the people I deal with? I get to my point now. So isn't it important to still look at some personal areas of this person's life, before connecting with them?
Your question came from two angles. First of all, was bringing this person in,
into your network,
who has flaws. And now the question is, how will these people
Brand perception.
start
perceiving you? Yes.
Yes. And then what if people start saying that you're resembling
this
birds of the same feather flock together? It's not bird, but birds.
Okay.
Do you understand? Show me your friend and I will show you who you are.
Yes.
Now let the value, first of all, be synonymous. The value who this person is bringing, do you understand?
Okay.
Should be in line with what you want to achieve. Secondly, set boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's everything. Yes.
My pastor Annie Kebudo, used to say, I can work with a madman. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
What can that madman
Do for you, but
do for me
Okay.
yes.
that I need? And that is where he stays. He's one person who have learned over time, has worked so much around the ambience of emotional intelligence.
Okay.
No matter how weak you are, once you come, he doesn't criticize you, he absorbs you. Then looks for that your strength and keep working on it. And he will tell you that this person will change, this person will change. And most of those people who he has said this person will change end up changing. Do you understand? Emotional intelligence tells me that this man, Mr. O.C. Peters, did not have the same kind of upbringing I have.
Okay.
He has not experienced the kind of journey I've experienced.
Okay.
He has not been able to find himself in the same situation I found myself. You understand? It's called embracing diversity. So I embrace him for who he is.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Thank you.
Understanding that he has his flaws, he has his strength. By embracing for who he is, what I do is that I embrace these values he has.
Okay.
Respect him, honor him for these values he has. Understanding on my own side, okay, I have my own weakness. So we work together hand in hand That is what it's all about. You understand? That's what networking is all about. You understand? You must set aside the differences and work with a common purpose towards value. That is it.
Okay.
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 So probably different people network different ways. You can say that's based on their personality. Because we have those who are introverted in nature. And we have those who are
Yes.
extroverted in nature.
Yeah.
So this because of this their particular traits, the way they tend to network is different.
I
You
want
an
to
introvert.
I want to really correct that.
Okay.
I want to correct that perspective. My young friend who is a billionaire, Aisha Suleiman, and we work on so many other things. Currently, she's worth 2-3 billion. She's into oil and gas. She's
Wow.
into gold. She as well gold. She sent me a message some days back. Sorry, I'm exposing her on this platform. And she told me that, Victor, I'm trying to live my life right now. I don't understand what's happening to me. I'm low on emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm low on social intelligence. That
Yeah.
she needs a mentor on this part. And I told her something. I said, one of the stupid thing or foolish things that people say is that I'm introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm introvertic in nature. Do you understand? For me, I feel it's a disability of the mind. For you to come and start telling me yes, you understand that people have their inclination. I just want to be on my own.
Yeah.
That thing doesn't work again this generation. You want to be on your own, you remember on your own.
That's true.
It doesn't work in this generation again.
Wow.
I said, see, you must tell yourself the truth first that I want to be friendly. Then friends will start coming. Do you understand? You tell yourself the truth that you want to go out. I used to be that kind of person. You won't see me in receptions. You won't see me in burials. You won't see me anywhere. I want to be on my own. But I learned something that you can't be an
do
ocean
anything.
of your own.
Yeah. No more is an
Do
island.
you understand? I started attending some club meetings. I started synergizing with friends. And it has helped me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It has helped me. I told her, come on, man, get out of the box. This girl is loaded. If you hear her speak, as a matter of fact, some hints on finance, I go to borrow from what she posts. Her status alone is a school.
Okay.
The girl is loaded. I say, who knows you? What do you do? I said, okay, fine. Start writing scripts for me. Let me give to the public. And now she says she wants to be on the show.
Okay.
She says she wants to be on any show I want to. I say, okay, fine. The next show I'm having, I'll bring you on board so that you get to tell people about finance. Tell people who you are. Guess what? She's just 24 years old.
Wow.
Yes. Living this kind of life at the moment. That's why you find people who die where they are on their own. You understand?
Yeah.
You must see life revolves around people. You must be a people person. There's a book that says, Robin Schumer, that says money is not all it has to be about wealth. You understand? Money is not all. It says that if I want to be a billionaire, I'll find a billion way of impacting billions of people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I find how to impact 1 billion people to make 1 billion.
Okay.
That was what he said. So life revolves around people.
Okay.
We need people. You cannot be all to yourself. So that's the whole statement of being introverted. For me, it's odd. I don't like hearing it.
What of extroverts
Listen,
who absorb a lot of people?
Can I
Most
say
times they can be overwhelmed. It can be overwhelming,
I would love
and they will learn to stay focused. What about extrovert? Now come to about introverts. You have given his own perception
yeah,
about introverts.
sorry, that's my
Now,
own perception.
for
You understand? That's my own
introverts, yes.
perspective.
You see the idea of personality.
Yes.
We can't pretend that it does not exist. It actually does. But people grow.
Yes.
There's a place for growth.
You understand?
See, do you know that the ability to walk up and network with people does not change that you are an introvert?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's not like
Exactly.
It does not change
I learned
that you are an
Exactly.
introvert. It shows that you are an intentional person.
Exactly.
I've like my good brother said, I used to be that way too. I made a decision to intentionally walk into people's
Yeah.
lives.
Intentionally.
It could start from striking a conversation.
Yes.
Because see extroverts, they tell you, I don't even know how to start up. It's intentional.
Hi.
The crowd of one. That's the way I define it. There are 20 persons here. I'm also seeing you as one. Can I strike a conversation, a decent conversation?
A decent
A
conversation.
decent conversation that does not aim at exploring you.
Yeah.
A decent conversation that aims at creating a social, a positive atmosphere that everyone can express himself. a positive atmosphere that everybody's opinion can thrive. It is not a suppressive conversation that aims at shoving my ideas down your throat.
Exactly.
No, it's just a decent conversation. Another thing is, most people who say they are extroverts, what's at the bottom of what they are saying is lack of self-esteem.
Exactly.
No matter how you try to look at it.
Likewise introverts too.
No matter how you try to look at it, we must come to the point of saying the truth to ourselves.
Yes.
Why can't I speak with this person? It is also could also be a product of acquired realities. What you've acquired in the process of experiencing life becomes your mind construct. It builds your mind. It builds ideological construct. You have a reason why you can't. I usually tell people, see the way I solve that problem for myself, because honestly speaking, there's no place I wouldn't want to talk. There's no place I cannot talk. There's nobody I cannot have a conversation with right now. Because number one, I build my conversation on mutual respect. I don't have any intention of exploring you. And again, I'm not paying too much attention on how and what you will think after this conversation, because that's what weighs you down. Let me tell you a practical way I solved that problem. I asked myself, when children walk up to you to talk to you, you see that level of sincerity. So I adopted sincerity. You see that level of truthfulness, I adopted it.
Humility.
You see that level of humility, I adopted it. You see that level of simplicity, I adopted it. You see that level of courage, because if you want to learn courage, go to children. They do things that if you do it as another, people look at you. But trust me, the real and the purest energy that we need to run in life is the energy God gave to us as children. That's the energy that makes them say, Mommy, when I grow up, I'm going to buy you a jet. We look at it and say, they are children. Now the question is, do you know that at that moment, that is their absolute reality?
Exactly.
They don't see limitations. That limitation is not there. But when we start growing in life, life begins to teach us how to place limitations on ourselves. And that is why I think less smart people succeed more than smart people. It sounds funny, because a smart person has 1001 reasons why that idea can't work.
Ideologies,
But this guy is just focused on one idea. He doesn't even know why it can't work. So he tries it. He puts his head into it. He's doing it, and everybody's saying you are stupid. He doesn't understand stupidity. Because for him, what you call stupid is the climax of his own wisdom. So he does it and he fails. Because he's into the act of doing it. He tries it again. He tries it 5 times, and at the end of the day, one hit, and you say, this guy is smart. Excuse me. You were supposed to be smarter, but you doubted everything about yourself. So question I used to ask myself, what I used to tell myself now is, if it comes into your head, can you preserve it in its purest states? Give it a try.
All right. I was studying about most first-class students who are in school, and over time, if you find that is a real life lesson, you find that the most so-called intelligent classmates you had those days are actually introverted. They want to be on their own. They want to study on their own. They don't want you to even know what they are doing. Do you know that most of them end up being very poor? As a matter of fact, that sanguine who is in your class end up being very wealthy than that intelligent child.
And they
Look
don't
very
employ
critically.
those
You're absolutely
They
right.
don't employ the first.
Do you understand? Look very critically. That sanguine who is everywhere, who you think is the life of the party, ends up being more wealthier than that first class student who is always covering his shit so that you don't copy the answer he's writing and all
I know a
that.
lot of first class brains that are doing well out there.
Look at them very well. They are always socially intelligent.
They balance it.
They
They
balance
balance
it
it.
very
They
well.
balance it.
Do you understand? They balance it very well. They are socially intelligent. They are intentional with themselves and their network.
You see,
You understand?
when you make what you think you know unaccessible,
Yes.
you have to deal with it.
You
yourself.
limit yourself.
You limit
You
yourself.
limit yourself.
What you know has to be accessible on a value that is affordable for those who need it.
Yes.
So you have to make it very much accessible. If you decide to enclose yourself, no matter what you know, nobody will know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to learn the act of being liberal in terms of association.
Yes.
Be liberal, but place your limits.
Yes.
Okay.
That means in your state of being liberal, you should be strategic as well.
That's the limit.
Not every relationship counts for you. You should know, okay, this is what I want. Who are the kind of people that I need? This person has what I want. I go for it.
I think even the broader way of looking at it is find the good in this that you need.
Exactly.
And
Find the
things.
good.
Exactly.
Because if you can't censor it, we lack the capacity to summarize people. at
Don't
a
look for
first
one-
glance
look for
or
one
even
thing.
what they project. Just on your own, find what the quality, find what you need. If it's what you need, connect.
Yes,
And that's just it. Don't go beyond it, or else you start finding faults.
of course.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
So I would like to go back a little bit, Mr. Osi. We're talking about personal values. A lot of people out there, this is what is restricting them from connecting with people, because when they find out what some other persons do behind the scenes, you know, they just hold back themselves. Talking about networking and relationship, you need to talk about trust, and the rest of them. So don't you need to trust someone enough to network with the person? Talking about, Mr. Victor said you should overlook those weaknesses, those faults. But some of these things are very vital issues, character issues, trust issues that can affect what you do. So are you saying that despite whatever it is that the person has as flaws, you should just go ahead and connect with maybe the one or two good things you see in the person? Now, talking about a lot of these guys, these Yahoo guys now, they're making a lot of money. Looking at them from the surface, you might have some good business ideas that you might want to connect with them. Okay, can you invest in this idea of mine? Meanwhile, the source of the wealth is not, it's not legit, if I use that language. So I want to throw more light on that. How can we screen and assess people that we network with, not just networking because of the value they bring to the table?
First of all, I trust my own value.
Okay.
That's where it starts. And number two, so we should stop all this selective morality.
Okay.
Because it's visible, you find a way of summarizing his. Are you better off?
Okay.
How relationship works. Like I said, limit is the word. I place limits on how I deal with you. But it's kind of difficult to do this, but it takes a lot of practice. He's not trustworthy, he's not do this. Who said? Have I experienced it?
Okay.
Can I be building my life based on people's opinion?
Okay.
Let me get to see there's this thing I observe. Sometimes you're going to get something in a particular location and somebody coming from location tells you it's not there. And sometimes you don't even get to that location, you turn around and you walk back, only to realize it was there, just that the people, because of the person who came, they rejected him. Okay. I've seen it work for me. Somebody said, no problem, let me just get that. What's it, and they give it to me and I go my way. So I'm not going to build my life based on say. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm not going to build my life. He's this, he's that. I'm not doubting you, but it's your personal experience. When I get there and begin to form my own opinion about the person, I am very intentional to still stick to the good.
Okay.
It is something that will give you sanity, mental sanity. When you learn how to, I have some big people who can disappoint you for Africa. Okay. Like they'll tell you, by tomorrow I'll send you the fund. For that day, they will not even call you. They will not. So what are you going to do? Destroy that relationship? Okay. You don't know the dynamics of his life.
All right.
You must learn how to make excuses for people.
Okay.
Because that's the only way you can reap people making excuses for you. I'm not saying I'm going to flow with the current and everything, but what I'm saying is that if it is not detrimental to my mental sanity, if it is not threatening to my health, if it's not threatening to my life, I will find a way of working it out while I do some other things.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We've said.
Let me add to what he said. There's an investment term they say, don't do investments based on people's opinion.
Okay.
Work on facts.
Okay.
I will go deeper to say work on truth. That you hear doesn't build the credibility of a team.
Okay.
Till you bring me books or facts or truth about this investment, then I'll be able to go through this investment. The error with people right now is, I heard that this person said, that this person said that this person is bad. Opinion. You've not had a one-on-one
experience.
But when a lot of persons are saying the same thing, must you go and try for yourself?
In the council, the Bible says that in the multitude of counsel there is wisdom. You understand? And the truth is that when people start pointing like that, sit back, rearrange. But we are still talking about values. How does this person suit what I'm working on?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're not better than that Yahoo guy.
Okay.
Do you understand? As a matter of fact, if that Yahoo guy have the experience you have, he'll be better than you.
Yeah.
That's one of the courses I'm actually building on. I said, if you can work, if that Yahoo guy can sit down on a system for 24 hours trying to hit a maga, if he can impute the same time into tech, he will gain more results than that stuff.
Because he has worked on discipline.
He has worked on discipline. There's a character he has. Most of them come to me for counsel on this matter. Do you understand? He has mastered the art of discipline, consistency and persistency in that art, which you don't have. Go and learn from the street. That's what the Bible says. Go and learn from the ants. You understand? Beyond that, he said that the sons of the unborn woman are wise in their ways. Integrity. You go steal, they go cut your hand. But the grace, I'm sorry to say that grace and everything has covered the whole thing. You understand? At those days, I grew up in the street that if you say something, you pay for what you say.
Okay, so I should learn discipline from Yahoo guy. All right.
So let's take a lesson from Jesus. Yeah. Jesus was with was seen with the drugs and all that, and he was called a wine bibber. Yeah. Okay. But there's intentionality in
what he was doing.
What he was doing.
Yes.
Okay.
There was intentionality. See, when you take off intentionality, that is where you mix up. When you take off intentionality,
we don't come up for network and network.
Jesus was called a wine biber.
Yeah.
Imagine the King of Kings being called a wine biber.
I guess what he told them now.
Now listen to this. We must see. I pay attention to perception.
Yeah.
Because to a very large extent, perception to a large extent is larger than reality.
Yes.
What you perceive is your reality.
Yes. Okay? Yes.
I pay attention to it, but we must not pay attention to people's perception at the expense of value, because at the long run, tomorrow will speak for itself.
At the expense of value.
At the long run, tomorrow will speak for itself.
Yes.
Because they hate him. My brother, what I see is not what you are seeing.
Exactly.
Onyara wenenyi. Do you understand what I'm saying? Onyara wenenyi. I've had a story of people who, or somebody who was more like ostracized. You saw him as this and that, they have wrong perspective about him. But at the end of the day, this guy had the solution that all these people needed. Somebody overlooked it. I don't want to go into this other story. Somebody overlooked it and decided to come close and realized that this guy was opposite. Just that this guy's principles were anathema to their ill practices. Okay. So people can label you. Okay. Take my word for it. People can label you. But in the place of consistently dishing out value, the people who make it in life usually are the people who find a balance between public opinion and personal values.
Okay. So our major focal point of discussion, just like you mentioned, that we're living networking, we're looking at building relationships that matter. Yeah. All right. So these are things that come into play while building relationships. All right. And as Christians, there are some things that don't make sense to the world, but they make sense to us. When I quoted that scripture, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. There are certain value systems that we should have as Christians. Now, I want us to bring it home. All right. As Christians, what are those things we should look out for while building connections? Possibly, if there are biblical references or scriptures you can use to back it up, so that we will not be lost in the shadow of trying to meet value, and we are compromising our own godly values.
Okay, I think we should make it broad.
Okay. Because one of the things during the election, during Tinubu election, there was something I saw behind Obasanjo when he was warning Buhari concerning the election. You should be careful. What I saw was a laid out set of values behind. If you can access the video, go back and watch the video. A laid down set of values behind that man. Okay. And trust me, each of those values I saw that he has worked by it. Empathy, integrity. Yes, we understand all those political games and everything they play, leadership and everything. I inspire people wherever. I saw those things behind
that letter.
Yes, I saw it behind this man's chair. You understand? So when we come to religion, or you want to scout out, morality is key. You understand? Morality is key in to be able to synchronize or synergize with people who you want to become or who you want to work together with concerning a vision.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So whether you're a Muslim or as a matter of, I grew up in the north. I had more of Muslim friends than Christian friends.
Okay.
And these guys had my back. I can mention so many of them. As a matter of fact, the clothing I do today, it was a Hausa man who took me to the Kano market in Sabo Glory to learn how to sell clothes. These guys had my back. As a matter of those days when the crisis was up and down, it was these same Muslims that protected my mother's depot. So you could just imagine. So it's not a religious thing. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's a morality thing. Does this man have the kind of value that I need, that I can work with? Yes, being born again, undisputed. You understand? Because
Religion aside,
you
why
can't,
Jesus?
your product is not only meant for the Church of Christ.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Your product is not only meant
For the
for
church.
Winners Chapel. It's not
Okay.
only meant for
Okay.
Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Okay.
It's meant to be global.
Okay.
So you don't know that Hindus or that
Muslims.
Buddhist who is coming to buy your product.
Okay.
So set out. Let's keep out that mindset.
Okay.
Do you understand? Look for value, pursue after value, and achieve value. That is just it.
Okay.
Okay, you see, it is this is at the core of the world crisis we are having. It's at the core of it. We must not see life from the prism of religion.
Yes.
Okay.
We you know, for me, it is a shallow way of, you know, viewing human beings. You must see life, see people from the prism of humanity. We were first humans before we became religious. But having said that, your question is about Christian, being a Christian, you know, how do you know, relate with people and all that.
Yeah.
Christianity on its own does not exist in isolation.
Exactly.
I don't meet people with the intention of making them Christians.
Okay.
For me, I think that's a very wrong thing to do. I meet people with the essence of exuding positive energy. You'll be the one to ask me, what's up? You'll be the one to ask, man, I like your value system and all that. A lot of people have been won over, you know, into, you know, different religions just because they related with someone from that sect. And in their head, they believe it is because of this thing, that because of this religion, that this guy acts this way.
Okay.
But funny enough, it may not be. It could be a set of family principles. It could be upbringing. It could be, you know, acquired information. You grew yourself to act in a certain way, you know. And if you want to look at it, you know, from the Christian aspect, even the Bible says we are the light of the world, and not the light of the church. We are in the world. We are not of the world, but we are in the world. You do things with the world. Please, if you are doing business with people, keep religion aside. If you are relating with people, keep religion aside. When the time comes, it will pop out.
You know, there was a story he was sharing about where Christ was called a wine viper. You understand?
Yeah.
He did not completed that story. You know, at the end of the day, he said he did not come for those who are lost. Who are saved, but he came for the house of those who are lost, and that was why he was found among them. You understand? But our mindset today is different. I'm sorry to call it, our religious mindset has limited us a lot. That's the truth. Trust me. That person outside there has the money you're looking for, has the idea you're looking for, has the platform you're looking for, that person in church doesn't have. Tell me the church that Don Jazzy attends. Tell me the church that Mark Zuckerberg attends. Are you not using Facebook? Do you understand? So we shouldn't limit ourselves around this religious sphere. It will limit everything we do.
Everything.
Okay.
It will limit
The major
everything.
people are looking at
Do you
that.
understand?
Yes.
As you said, it still revolve around value. Find the value in others, find the strength in others, and work with it. You understand?
Alright, so as we wrap up today's episode, we should remember one thing, that networking is not just about exchanging contacts. Networking goes beyond that. It goes beyond connecting based on values. It goes beyond building meaningful relationships. And we've learned so much that I would just wish we continue, but because of time, we would have to switch over to other topics. But I want you to know that each connection you make opens a door for you. Each meaningful connection you make opens a door for you. And it should not be quick
Sorry.
building bridges.
I think each connection you make could.
Yes,
Because we must
it
also
could
look at the
open a
downside.
door, it could also
The downside
shut the door.
is that you may meet disappointment.
Exactly.
You may try connecting with people and they will block you off.
Exactly.
What do you do at that moment? What do you do? Is it to withdraw and say, they are rejecting? No. real rejection is self-rejection.
Exactly.
He has rejected you does not mean you cannot create other ones. Trust me, kings meet kings.
Of course.
There are people that will never wish to connect with you at the level you find yourself. You have to build capacity. When you build capacity, they will look for you themselves.
Yeah.
And when they look for you, don't take anything personal. Don't take it personal. Forget the past and still relate. That's life.
So I have to retrace that. Each connection could open the door for you.
Or close the door.
Yes, or close the door as well. So thank you for joining us on this episode of Talk and Tango, where conversation swings to the rhythm of ideas. I'm so grateful that you stick part to this point. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and even comment down there below. You keep hearing from us Friday after Friday till the end. Thank you for being with us today. I still remain Prince Sebastian, and with my humble host here.
Zion Wachiku. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.